Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I'm going to give you an update. So I'm just checking like what's on my side to make sure you can't see anything like weird. I'm going to be giving you an update on the cuttings that Emma sent me at Emma Greenwood. Link in bio as always. When we did a plant trade, and she gave me loads of cuttings. There is a video of me unboxing it all. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out before watching this video, or watch this, then watch that, then watch this again. But they've grown a lot, and they've all, as far as I'm aware, they've all rooted. So I wanted to give you a quick update, and it's been, I think it's only been like 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I'll put like how many days it's been here. So I'm really impressed with how they're doing. I'll show you the setup. I'll show you exactly what I'm keeping them in. I mean, I'm keeping them under my 300 watt grow light, and it's like a predominantly blue and pink light spectrum. Blue and pink or blue and purple? It's like one of the luminous pink ones as opposed to like the white light. Yeah, so I'll turn the camera around and show you guys what's going on. Right, so I've been keeping them in this heated propagator. Let me just get it into place. And this level of humidity is what it is kept at all the time. So it's always got all this, all of this condensation over the throughout the container. So I keep it super humid, and this is best. This is the heated propagator. Did I just say that? I don't know. So when I take it off, it spills everywhere. It's normally a bit more humid than this, like the droplets are usually quite a bit bigger. Right, so I'm going to go through one by one. There we go. I'll go through one by one and we can see what's going on. So I'll start with the Hoyas. So this is the Hoya australis lisa, and it not only has it rooted, but it also has two little leaves coming up. My nails are dirty, please ignore. He's got two little baby leaves coming up, which is amazing. That means that he's definitely rooted. So with cuttings, it is more often than, well, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say is when I take cuttings, I don't like to pull them out of the soil. So the way you can ensure or check or be aware that they've rooted is that if they put on any new growth, that means that they have most definitely rooted. And this growth here is very promising, and you can see the variegation in it already. Like, it's super pale in the center and then lovely dark green on the outside. So that one is doing brilliantly. Then we have, this one hasn't shown any new growth as far as I can see. So this is the Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. Definitely, I think it's definitely rooted. He's looking really healthy. This central stem here has died, but obviously they die back to the node anyway when you cut, when it's cut like that. When there's no growing tip here or node that it can grow from, it will die back to the previous node. So that is absolutely perfectly fine. And I don't see any roots yet, but I'm going to assume that he has rooted. Give it just a little tug, and yeah, he's solid in there. So he's definitely rooted. And then the next Hoyas are super interesting because they have grown so many aerial roots. So this is the Hoya Carnosa, and you can see all those roots that are coming out the top there, which obviously leads me to believe that there are a lot of roots down in there too. So that's doing really nicely, and ordinarily it would be a bit more humid, so these guys are normally a bit more hairy, or you can normally see the tiny root hairs on them, I mean. But at the moment they seem to have dried up just a little bit, but the ones in the moss are going to be absolutely fine. And this mix has worked an absolute treat. I've got orchid bark in there mixed with a bit of compost, like multi-purpose compost, and a lot of sphagnum moss, and it's worked an absolute treat. So next we have the Hoya Carnosa compacta, and this one as well. You can see the roots coming out, and he's got 4 new leaves coming in. So if I can, you see there's 2 leaves coming up in this node and then 2 in this node, and that is really cool. So he's definitely rooted in there as well. No roots coming out the bottom, which is a good thing in terms of I won't have to pop them up anytime soon. But he's looking adorable. It looks like he's dropped a leaf. I don't know if, I can't see it. So you just see like this node here. I don't know whether whether that was already like that, I can't remember, but he's doing really well, and he's definitely rooted. I don't really want to tug it, but yeah, he's rooted in there, so that is perfect. And then the next one is even better. So this is the Hoya carnosa crimson, this is the Hoya carnosa Krinkle 8, and look, he's got 2 new leaves. So those leaves there are brand new. They weren't on it when I put him in here, and you can see he's got some super thick roots coming out of his stem, which means that he's definitely got some lovely roots growing in the bottom too. So he's doing really well, and I'm quite surprised that the leaves, because I've never had a Krinkle 8 before, or any sort of Krinkle, so it's quite interesting to see that the leaves actually come through relatively smooth. Like you can see there's kind of crinkles on this one, but they come through relatively smooth, and then it's going to be really cool to see them kind of get their crinkles. Right, and then next up we have this guy. This is the I think I may have put this in upside down. This is the lipstick plant. Again, I do not remember the Latin of this. I remember it's quite like a long word. I don't know if I've put these in upside down because they're rooting from those. If I gently... Okay, yeah, look, so there's no roots coming from that bottom. So, but there's roots coming from the top. So I'm going to probably stick it in the other way around, or lay it down so that both of these nodes are, because that one's rooted and that one's also rooted. Yeah, I think I did put it in upside down. But that, see, right, if I didn't have the super high humidity, they would have died, but they've rooted in the air because of how humid the environment is. So that's another pro to having super high humidity. But I'm glad I noticed that, and the other one's doing the exact same. So let me just fix that up. Yeah, so the other one here as well is rooted on the top and not the bottom, so I had it upside down, and you can see this just in this little internode, like coming from the node there is growth, and because it's coming from the top of that way rather than that way, it shows me that this is up and this is down. Plus the roots obviously give it away. But with trailing plants, it's sometimes really difficult, because ordinarily you'd think, oh right, well it must be that way up. But because the plant hangs and the leaves obviously try to find the light, it does sometimes kind of take you off track a little bit. Right, let's put him in there. So he should be okay. Right, and then next we have the Scindapsus, or Epipremnum pinnatum, I believe this was. And you can just see the roots coming from this new node. So, and this leaf is brand new. This leaf wasn't, it was just, yeah, so this was just a new leaf coming in. It was just a little spike, and then he opened up and he's rooted lovely across the bottom of his stem there. So that is looking really good, really healthy, and that didn't wilt once. Like a couple of the others wilted just a tiny bit and then picked up, whereas this one just stayed looking super healthy. You see there's no flex there. It's like just just doing really good. And then let's pop him back in there. Next up I'll do the Philodendron Verrucosum. This one I think is doing good. He's not wilting, he's nice and healthy. I just really don't want to mess around with the base of this, just in case I damage any roots, but his new leaf is coming in quite quickly, which is going to lead me to believe that he has rooted, but I'm really not going to mess around. I know this looks like it's wilting, but it's actually not. It's just how it's been laying in there. It is a little bit more floppy than than I'm comfortable with. But I'm just not going to mess around with him too much, because I don't want to risk damaging any roots or anything. Right, and then next up is the Begonia Wyetii. Okay. And this one, the leaf itself is not... like, this leaf is starting to die off, I think because it's been in contact with the ground, like it was kind of just touching the sand. But I'm not worried about that, because if you just look in here, we have a new growth point coming in, which is awesome. so he's going to survive absolutely fine. And then maybe when this part grows up, I may end up cutting this old leaf off. Just it'll look it'll be a nicer plant if I do that. Let's just pop him in there without damaging anything. Right, and then let's go to this next begonia. This little begonia here, which to my mind I can't think of the name. But he had two big leaves like this. One of them did die off, and it died back to the node there. You can just see the node there, and then this new leaf came out, which was I was well excited about, and it's grown so quick. And then I pulled this out yesterday to have a look at it, and then I noticed this little guy under the leaf, so it's also grown another leaf in there. So he's doing really well, and he's definitely rooted. When you see new growth on a cutting, it is 99.9% that it's rooted. So he's doing really good. I'm really happy with that one, and I can't wait for him to get a bit taller. And I'm kind of glad that the leaf grew the same way as that one, because then it's going to look like angel wings again. Right, and then up next we have the Maranta, and this is doing really well. There's been no damage to these leaves. I believe they already had these little two tips, were a little bit brown. But he's grown a new little baby leaf, which looks adorable. It looks like a little heart leaf, doesn't it? And he's also got a new growing point coming in here. And this is the first Maranta that I've ever had, so I'm super happy that I'm able to keep it alive. They do like high humidity, as far as I understand, so I believe that is why he's doing so well, because he's loving it inside this little hot box. I've never called it that before. Inside this little propagator. Right, and then next up, this one actually was a cutting that one of my other friends gave me, and this is a Ficus pumila. And I'm growing this. It has rooted, because all these new leaves, these leaves are new here, so he has rooted in there, and I'm growing this for my terrarium. So once he gets a bit bigger, he'll be going into my terrarium, and yeah, that's looking good, promising, because he's growing. Why is there a gap there? What did I move? I haven't taken anything out, have I? No. Right. Okay, and then we have a couple of ZZ Raven leaves here, which I'm not certain are going to work, but I've only put them in recently. Nothing's happened to them yet. I think they're just, sorry, that's not even in frame. I think they're being kept a little bit too wet, so I'm not expecting much from that. And then I have one of the begonia leaves here, which is one of the tiger's paw. It's like, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was one of the tiger paw begonias. And he's still looking green, still looking healthy, so fingers crossed. And he's got the lovely colour under the leaves there. You can just about see that. He's still looking healthy. I'm not going to, I want to, but I shouldn't. Don't want to mess around with it too much to see if he's rooting. Oh, it does look like that vein right there. It looks like there's like a little root coming out of it. Right, I'm not going to touch that anymore, otherwise I'll end up ruining it. So that's that. Like, they've grown so quick, and I'm like so happy with the Hoyas especially, and the begonias, and the Maranta. I'm happy with all of it, to be honest. They're doing really well. And this, I got this heated propagator from B&Q. It was only £15, which is it's the cheapest price I've seen them go for. So I was super happy with that. And I've actually had this I've had this for like over a year now, and I used it to germinate some musa seeds, some bananas, and that's all I used it for. And then I put it away and never used it again. So I'm glad I got it out for these guys, because they have worked really quickly. Right, so I'm just going to place that lid back on there, make sure I don't trap any leaves, and then I'm going to grab the other cuttings. Right, so these are the other begonia leaves. Oh, I also have the syngonium, but I've got that in a glass of water at the moment, because I put it into I planted it in sphagnum moss and like soil, and it wilted super quickly, so I decided to pull it out of that and put it into water, just like to let it root a little bit more, and then transplant it. Anyway, but These don't seem to have any growth as of yet. I don't want to mess around with it. Oh, there are roots coming out of there, right. Can you see just there, those two little roots? There's actually three little roots coming out of there, so that's looking promising. Let's cover you back over. I don't want to pull around anymore, should I? I mean, I keep saying I'm not going to, and then I proceed to do it. But all the leaves are still really healthy, so that is a really good sign. Right, no, I'm not going to be able to see anything. And these, sorry, I can't even see. These begonias here actually have a lot of new leaves coming in, so I'm assuming, yeah, he's definitely rooted in there. So they're looking really good. I'll leave them in here until these guys are done. But that's just a quick update on those. They're all looking really, really good. And I've been keeping them obviously with no heat, well, apart from the heat that's in my room. So relatively warm the majority of the time, I suppose. And again, these are just under my propagator light. They're probably about 3 foot away from it, so they don't get too much intense lighting. They just get that sort of like bright light. Right, and just quickly, here's the Syngonium, just to show you guys that it's still alive. And I've got some Scindapsus pictus cuttings in there too. But the roots are growing. Let me pull it up, if I can untangle this mess. Yeah, so the root has grown, but I do need to transfer it into, I'm probably going to plant it into straight sphagnum moss first, just to let it kind of settle in that first, and then transition it to soil after a little while. But it has picked up and it's looking really good. He wilted like super bad the first day, so I panicked and just stuck him in water. Right, and then here we just have the Rhipsalis, this Epiphyllum, I believe it is, and then the dragon fruit cactus here. And these are all doing really good. I mean, they've not put on like any new growth, but this one especially has really held himself up, and I think he's doing pretty good. He hasn't wilted, so that's a good thing. The Rhipsalis is looking a little bit less happy, but again, I've been keeping these on the drier side. I do need to give them a little water, but they're all still green, and I have no doubt that this one's going to root, no problem. I will give these guys a water, but just to show you that they're all doing good. Right, so that was just a quick update on all of those. I just wanted to show you the progress because they'd grown so quickly. And then if you guys remember when I set up my grow tent, I took some begonia leaf cuttings of my large Begonia rex, unspecified cultivar. I took some leaf cuttings of that probably 3 weeks ago, just over, and they have absolutely blown up. And they're going crazy and they're loving life. Like, I think these have grown quicker than my last begonia cuttings I took, well, like a year ago maybe. But these have done really, really well, and I've just been keeping these are like takeaway containers, and I've just been keeping, I'm gonna have to like remove it now, but I've been keeping this just on top just to keep humidity up, and you can see the condensation where the humidity is kept. So they are doing amazing, and I just thought I'd quickly show you those whilst I'm updating you guys on bits and bobs. So I'll just put those on the side for now. And I'm gonna just keep showing you stuff. My beautiful Philodendron Imperial Red is looking good. He does have a couple of, like, I noticed yesterday, he's got a couple of spots. You see these spots? I think maybe it was just a little bit burning. Get your words out. I think it was burning just a little bit under the grow light, so I've moved it further away. Yeah, like you can see there. I think the edges there were just burning just a touch, so I've moved it a lot further away, and he's doing really good. He's looking nice and healthy. His leaves, yeah, you see the damage on that leaf. His leaves, apart from that, he's looking really good. Oh, I'll show you another thing as well. Right. Oh, I'll do, yeah. Okay, this is going to be like an update video of a lot of my of my plants. I'm sure some of you will appreciate that. Right, so a lot of my begonias, I posted a video in my time today, but in your time a couple of days ago, of the begonias that I purchased from Dibley's that I also sent some to Emma. So I'll give you a quick update on those and my begonia griffin, because that has grown like crazy. Let me show you the griffin first, because it's just like doubled in size in a matter of, what have I had this for? Maybe two weeks, maybe, yeah, it's not 3 weeks, I'm sure. But it has put out 2 new leaves since I've had it. So this is the leaf that when Nick sent it to me, that was the leaf that was coming out as a baby. And that one has opened up to the size of my hand. If I try and open my hand underneath it, to the size of my hand. And then this leaf here is newer than that leaf, and it's doing amazing. And it's getting huge, and he's got a new leaf coming in there. So I keep this one on the, well, he's a bit too wet at the moment because I watered him today, but in my room it's really warm, so they dry out relatively quickly, so I can proper douse him down, and then he'll dry out within a day. So I've been keeping him on the more moister side, and he's been loving it. Then my Begonia listada, I looked at this closer and I was like, what is going on with this guy? And I believe it's called bud proliferation, where like you get one bud and it like it grows like a super thick stem, and that is exactly what this little guy is. Can you see that? Like his stem is like really thin that way, but really thick that way, and he's just got loads of growth points coming from the top of that. And I think that might explain why he has like a tri-leaf rather than like a double-ended leaf, but he's happy, so I'll just let him do what he's doing. And then we have my Begonia pollux with a P here, which is doing really good. He's picked up nicely, and he's got some new leaves coming in, and there's a baby leaf coming in down there. So just another look there. He's doing really well. And then my Begonia Marmaduke is loving life. He's doing really well. It's got loads of new leaves coming in, and I just love how dark those leaves are. And there's so many leaves. I won't be cutting any off, I won't be propagating it, because I've still got the Marmaduke cutting from Emma rooting, so that one, so I won't need more of that one because that one is rooting. I'm sure you understand. And then I have my Connie Boswell, which is doing good. It's still looking a bit messy because a lot of the leaves did come in damaged. Like this one here is like super like damaged, and this one is looking a little bit, I don't know, they're just looking a little bit crinkled at the moment. But this one only has one basal stem. I know it looks like there's 3, but there's not. It's only got 1 stem at the base, and the one that I sent Emma had 2. Yes, it did have 2 stems. So her one's gonna get a lot, like should get super bushy and be really nice. I'm just worried that this is gonna grow up. I guess that's kind of what they do. But I'm rambling so bad. But yeah, he's looking really pretty. I mean, that is lovely. Lovely coloration on there. It's a lovely, nice pink colour. All the edges of the leaves look real good. Yeah, it's really coloured up since I got it. And then we have, oh, this one's wet. I did just water these today, but this one's like holding on to its water a bit too much. This is the Kylie Fireflush. At the moment, not looking spectacular, but he's doing alright and he's living. So, no new growth on that one really. But he's doing okay, so we'll just keep an eye on him. I didn't take him out of his little cell package, so maybe if he doesn't perk up anytime soon, I'll take him out of that package and see if he prefers that. That's a bit heavy for my liking. But this is just amazing. So that's doing really well. Love that one. Okay, I think that's going to be all the updates for today, and then I'll give you guys, oh yeah, because I bought some new plants as well that I need to show you all. I went to Perrywoods the other day and bought some new plants. I'll show you those in my next video because I'm getting super hot right now. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this update, and it's been nice because it feels like I'm showing you a lot of new growth, and I like that there's a lot to show rather than it feeling like there's not much to show. But yeah, I'm gonna do I'll do a houseplant tour very soon, because everything's looking really good and it's growing really well, and I have stuff kind of displayed a little bit better now. I'm talking too much. Right, so I'll put these away, but before I do that, I'll let you guys go. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. Definitely leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see more, and hit that bell notification. I feel so stupid saying that. But yeah, if you hit the bell notification, it will notify you when I upload a video, so you don't miss any, if that is what you're into. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you so much for watching.